You asshole. Shit. Gotta do it though. There's no way around it. Have to hold those ticks and whammy. Holy shit. It's done. 208.8 is fucking done. Holy shit, man. I didn't know if the last, the second act front end was good enough. That's why I just said now we wait. Holy fuck. 208.8. I never have a reason to play this stupid fucking song again. But that being said, this was not very painful at all. This took, I think, around an hour. One 10-minute, one under 30-minute recording, and then this was 12 minutes. So less than an hour total. And I FC'd at least through the solo, or through the strumming, not counting the last blue, which I actually think is verse 3, so it's not even technically the solo. Missed on the extended hit window fret trick execution to preserve ticks and whammy. But yeah, I FC'd through the strumming at least 5 runs, including another 0-8 that was painful. But like I said, immediately after, I had to just throw everything at the wall until it stuck. And yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. But this also wasn't something I was going to lose sleep over if it didn't happen. I just really wanted to not have to ever think about playing this song again. Though I was motivated to pick this up again just because this song has just been flooding my sub box lately from Marler and Sleeper Wave. Which, I mean, shout out to those guys. They're just absolutely incredible at this. And it just shows how utterly insane the feat of a co-op FC is, that as good as those guys are, at least as of today, May 15th, I haven't seen an FC, though they've had many -1s. Sleeper uploaded 7 solo FCs in a row. I actually got a new PB of my own in that regard with 3 in a row, and I was pretty proud of that. But yeah, the big difference between me and the people who are really good at this song is that all of them, I think, are going for co-op FCs, which is why they're pushing that consistency. I guess, I don't know if Chance of One has any ambitions of that, but he's also very good at this song. He's gotten probably at least 10 FCs of this by now. But to be fair, The amount of FCs that I would actually have of this song if I wasn't constantly throwing the runs away to that blue whammy and the front end of Solo 2 would probably be in the 20s. That's the price of score grinding. I mean, once this song gets co-op FC'd at this point, like, obviously the score can be beaten, but it's on its deathbed, which will be just a very nice and fitting fate for this piece of shit. Act 1 in TAS, I was able to produce in X24, but in runs, and I've gotten this many, many, many times, so I have a hard time believing it's not optimal. I've only gotten 12. And then occasionally, like this run, I guess unfortunately, but I don't really care, I'll get an 8. And that also tracks to what I believe at least to be a frame worse of an activation where I'll get either 96 or 92. Now, what's going on there for there to be such volatile tick swings for a single sustain at this tempo? I have a couple theories. The first is that it's just an effect of the weird time signature. At least I think that part has a different time signature. If it doesn't, then disregard that. I don't feel like pulling the path up right now. The other theory is that it's just an effect of the PAL game engine jank, where it just kind of squishes a 60 FPS or 60 hertz engine into a 50 FPS or 50 hertz signal. And so what could be happening there, although I don't think it is consistent like this, so that this probably isn't the case, is that maybe just that one extra frame of star power is lasting what should be 2 frames because of a potential frame skip in that janking slash squishing process. But I'm not even totally sure of that, because I think that 1 frame worse of an act than the 96 slash 92 is 80 slash 84. So I think it is just the time signature and longer frame times maybe of PAL that's causing that, what to me seems like overly volatile tick swings. But anyway, so that first act, despite the quote-unquote luck factor that just goes into whether or not you get that extra tick, is the much more consistent in your control act. And it's not just the fact that it doesn't have whammy, it's that the whammy for the second act is at the end of the strumming, which you kind of just have to take what you can get in terms of quote-unquote early whammy, because you're never going to get early whammy, as far as I know. You're always going to get slightly late whammy, and you just have to do your best on the remaining 3 inputs, which are getting as close to frame-perfect whammy when you do activate the note, however you approach the following blue and then the front end of the second act. I mean, thank God, at the very least, at least on this path, you don't have to worry about a back end, because that would make this basically, like, impossible. So that being said, as I mentioned earlier, I did TAS the song out, and I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 extra ticks. It was a very slight amount more that you could get by delaying the act to the second green-yellow on Act 2, and that would allow you to get the first green-yellow in that series of strums and complete the entire yellow-blue sustain. You can almost complete the entire yellow-blue sustain with what I produced as perfect whammy, but apparently is just 1 or 2 ticks shy, whichever it was. And that total was like 848, I want to say, either 844 or 848. And then on this path, like I said, it was either like 840, something around there. So this really isn't that far off. And again, based on the whammy situation for Act 2 and the fact that Act 2 is a chord sustained back end, this is pretty fucking good. I mean, just getting what I'm pretty sure is a frame-perfect Act 1 in an FC run in general is pretty nice. Cannot lie. I always think back to the first time I was going for this record, and I choked the X12 first act on the second act front end. Now, there, it almost certainly wouldn't have even been as good as this, because I wasn't using the extended hit and fret trick on the blue. After the first time that I FC'd the solo and then missed doing that, I was just like, fuck that, I'm just trying to get the record here. Like I said, I can't imagine ever coming back to this, so I know I've already gone through this song a couple times by now. I don't remember if I had gone through the TAS frame data on the last one, but either way, this is almost certainly the last time I'm going to be discussing this song. So just wanted to make sure and get all the info and everything out.